Welcome everyone to the Middle School Building Committee of May 13th, 2024. This meeting is in room 219 of the Savage Center, and this is a virtual meeting. Welcome everyone, thank you for coming. We have a lot to do tonight. It's town meeting night and a few other odds and ends, so let's get right to things. Let's start first with a public comment session. Is there anyone online, Chase?
There are not.
Okay. I don't see anyone here. However, I did get a correspondence from Judith Howard. She asked me to read, so I will do that. It's addressed to me. This is a last-minute attempt to see if you and members of the middle school building project will change your minds pertaining to the addition of side aisles at the end of the dead-end rows with a wall and a wrought iron barrier in the auditorium. It's important that a change order take place for several reasons. 1, safety of the middle school students. 2, the addition of the entire 5th grade to the middle school, which is a 25% increase. 3, in the present Coakley Middle School, there are side aisles in addition to the 2 center rows. It is going backwards, not providing the side aisles. 4, the new middle school has a clean slate to start, but instead chose to adhere to the, quote, model school, unquote, plan that is the high school, which is a major flaw. 5, the fact that the original capacity for the auditorium was 800, and now it has been reduced to 600, provides even more reasons for students who have security if there are side aisles. 6, while this writer has been told the design meets, quote, code, unquote, it is well known that developers lobby their legislative allies to change codes in order to make it less expensive and easier for them to build. They make substantial profits for sure by also receiving state, taxpayer subsidies. So, that's Judith's statement. Do we have any comments, questions?
Has the cost been explored and is it exorbitant?
Excuse me?
Has that cost for a change order been explored and is it exorbitant?
I assume it would be large, considering right now that they're pouring the auditorium.
It's already poured.
Poured, it's already poured, okay. There will be a substantial cost.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
So I think that we've dealt with the issue before, and it came before the committee, and I think there was a pretty solid vote in favor of retaining the original design, and I think we should thank Ms. Howard for her continued interest in the project, but I think we would be wise to decline her suggestion.
Okay. All right. Anything further? Okay, thank you. Minutes of the April 8th meeting.
Move for approval.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Comments? Hearing none. Let's take a vote. We have members online, so this will be a virtual vote. Matt Lane.
Yes.
Chris Folden.
I'll abstain, I wasn't here at that meeting.
Okay. Bob Donnelly.
Yes.
Teresa Stewart.
Yes.
Diane Ferreira.
Yes.
Margot Frazek.
Yes.
Gary Pelletier.
I'll abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay. Matt Wells.
Yep.
And chairman votes yes. Unanimous with 2 abstentions. Thank you. All right. Done that. Invoices from April 2024.
Would you like a summary, brief summary, Mr. Chairman?
Absolutely.
Just, so you'll see progress invoice from Vertex for project administration along with AI3's project administration invoice, and you'll see requisition 11 from W.T. Rich for roughly $4.8 million. That's our ongoing construction progress invoice number 11, all were reviewed and recommended for approval this evening.
Okay, thank you. Pleasure of the committee.
Move to approve the vendor invoice package as submitted.
We have a second. Discussion? Hearing none. Let's take a voice vote. Matt Lane,
Yes.
Chris Follen,
Yes.
Bob Donnelly,
Yes.
Teresa Stewart,
Yes.
Diane Ferrera,
Yes.
Margot Frazek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
Matt Wells,
Yes.
and Chairman votes yes, unanimous. Thank you. Okay. All right, Chase, it's all you. Let's start with the schedule and upcoming activity.
Certainly, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, committee. We'll run through some progress photos for anyone who may not have been by the site recently, just to see some current activity on site. Picking up from January, we're continuing our time lapse of overhead shots. Pretty powerful sense of progress here from the new year through April as of a week ago. So February, started closing the building in, advanced in March. You can see the roof is on, and into April with the ABB barrier progressing, windows being installed. So starting to close in the shell of the building, still on track to be substantially weather tight here in May. So progressing well, some more detailed photos. This writing is difficult to see, but you can see ongoing framing starting in Area B through the central core of the project and around the, again, exterior envelope. I think this was elevation C. Going from memory, I apologize, I can't read that. But you can see the first window install. We did complete our testing with Intertech. We have required envelope testing. This is a picture of the bubble test through the ABB barrier and typical fastener details near the windows. Those tests passed and were successful, and that's allowed WT Rich to continue with install. So completing our quality control process, and that has gone smoothly to date. You can see in the bottom of those photos, beginning of masonry veneer install as well. Ongoing slab placements, ongoing masonry.
Can you just go back for a second?
Sure.
Just to note that the one on the left is the auditorium, which we just talked about, which
True.
shows that basically it's concrete has been placed.
Yes, structures in place, slabs in place, very much, and framing continuing, spray fireproofing as well. So just a written high-level summary. Again, slab on deck placements are proceeding. Again, reminder, as you're looking at that key plan on the right, we're working CBA, essentially working our way right to left through the building. That's the way Rich has set up their logistics. So they started hanging drywall in Area C. We've had some rough inspections in the past and starting to hang drywall. Framing and wall inspections are going to be ongoing as you work your way across B to A through the rest of the building, sequencing one after the other. Like you saw in the photos, closing in the envelope officially to get weather tight towards the end of this month on areas A and B. And you saw the mason working on the exterior in Area C as well, window install ongoing. And the gym was probably the most recent big milestone that was placed last week.
Yeah, that's actually the only one, I think there's a typo in the notes here, but yeah, not early April, the gym was placed, early last week.
Yes. So yeah, proceeding on schedule overall, big picture, still on schedule within our contract schedule dates, still on track for milestone dates, and proceeding smoothly.
Okay, before we forget, we talked a little bit about next month, you know, where we're gonna be meeting on site, you know, what time we're gonna meet and where we're gonna meet, and how people should come dressed and that kind of good stuff.
Yes, we had in last month's meeting, Mr. Chairman, we had proposed a brief site tour
Mhm.
to the committee, starting at 4 o'clock, with the expectation that we would host our regularly scheduled committee meeting at 4:30, the normal time, and we would meet. We still have to arrange the exact location, but we were gonna meet on site at Coakley, probably in maybe the existing library, or find a space in the existing building, but we can confirm that.
Yeah.
Um,
Can we meet in one of the trailers?
We could.
If there's, if there's room.
Certainly, yeah, only we can coordinate, I mean, certainly a public meeting, if we have to arrange just access to make sure
Yeah,
somebody can find us.
that's fine by us.
It's certainly
Probably
an
make more
option.
sense, yeah.
Okay, sure, certainly.
All right,
Broadcast.
Yeah, and Sam's been
Yep, okay.
from our trailer before anyway, so
Right.
I think it would be no issue on that end as well.
Yeah, we'll make arrangements, look at it.
okay,
Uh,
I'll talk to NCM.
Norwood Cable, yes, but certainly, yeah, we're expecting it, Mr. Chairman, we're happy. I know the Rich team's looking forward to showing off their handiwork,
Okay,
so we're planning on a site tour for next month's meeting.
any suggestions on how people should come to us?
Don't wear shoes that you're worried about potentially getting muddy or dirty or damaged, but yeah, something more resilient on your feet. We can work out hard hats, availability of hard hats for the committee.
Yeah, suit and ties generally aren't the
No.
preferred.
No
No,
open
Okay.
toed shoes, and it might
Right.
be nicer next month, so no open toed shoes.
Yeah.
No hard hats,
Preferably long pants.
long pants, yep.
yeah.
Okay,
And we'll cover some ground. Be
Good.
ready for
excellent,
for a
thank
walk.
you. Any questions from anybody here?
What is the
Okay.
date on that?
Excuse
What
me?
is the date?
Yeah, the 10th?
Yeah, 6:10.
Second Monday is, yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Okay,
June 10th at 4 o'clock for the walk and meeting at 4:30.
okay, great.
Okay. On the administrative side of the project, the F&E planning meetings have continued. We're just about, I think we've really finalized and pinned down the scope of that list. We've drafted a budget. We are a bit over. I know we had updated the team last month that we were over. We're actually a bit further over by about $190,000. And I'll show we have that budget summary on the next slide. But just some history on that number. We do, at this point, I think to accommodate user requests, the thought is to at least include those requests in the budget so that we can allow for pricing.
Okay,
If there are still concerns about being over budget, or if that's something that can't be accommodated, through contingency use, I think we can have those conversations
Yeah,
about
okay.
potentially backing some scope out. But the
Okay.
thought was present a complete
Yeah.
budget. We'll finalize that for presentation in June. We'll ask for approval to proceed with procurement based on that
Okay.
final budget next month.
all right. Can I ask Margot, I'm assuming your staff is okay with what's being presented?
Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, this budget includes kind of like all the wish list
Yes,
items, so
yeah.
like everything that they really feel that they could use, so, and we've prioritized that as well, so if we do have to backtrack a little
Okay.
bit, we have a list to go on, so.
But they're comfortable with what's being proposed?
They are very happy with what is being
Good,
proposed,
okay.
yes, so,
Yeah, we've had user meetings throughout
yeah.
to develop this budget, and that list of equipment was based on user meetings through Margot and the
Yeah,
department heads.
good, okay.
So we're prepared to present that for approval next month. That will release us again, seen in the slides, but that will allow us to begin procurement this summer, about a year ahead of time.
Okay, and we have a presentation before the school department, school committee on June 5th.
June 5th, we were invited to provide an update on this process, which will very, very much basically duplicate this presentation, this summary, but we're prepared to
Okay,
meet on the 5th.
good,
Looking
okay.
forward to it.
All right,
when finalized, this is the summary, cost summary of the FF&E list to date. You can see here, we're roughly 190,000 over budget, just based on the original agreement with MSBA, the budget agreement with MSBA. So, but again, once finalized, we can circulate this matrix as well for your review. Very similar process taking place with Mr. Kidd. Oh, I'm sorry. We had this slide in last month, give everyone a visual sense of the style and character of some of the equipment that the budget is based on for typical desks and seating. And we'll have this as part of our presentation as well. Moving forward, technology update. Again, a very similar project, process that we've been coordinating through Margot and Joe Kidd, IT director. Really focusing on systems and components like network equipment, switches, gear, things required to make the building function and have a functional network, and IT systems, phones, and then obviously student needs and teacher needs for equipment to have functional space. So very similar process. You'll see an almost identical matrix. Similar scenario, we've included some items that are probably stretching that budget. We are just over by about $24,000. Logic being, we'd like to get proposals and get real numbers, see where the final, the true quoted values come in. If we have to back that down, we can, or we can allow for some contingency use as well. Very similar timelines. We'd like to present that final budget in June as well, to allow for procurement to start this summer
Okay.
with Mr. King.
And any questions from anyone on technology or FF&E?
Alan, I just have one question.
Sure.
Chase, where you said the set budget of 2,400 per student, is that 2,400 per student based off the MSBA number, which was what, 1070?
Yes, that's the, that is the MSBA approved budget, Teresa, yes.
Right,
And
okay. So it's not if we end up being over enrollment on day one of the new building, it's not that number, it's that MSBA number.
It is the MSBA number. I can, if you'd like, I could follow up and get you the exact student count that that's based on. I don't recall off the top of my head, but it is based on the MSBA student count at the time of budgeting with MSBA.
Okay, thank you. I think it was 1070, but yeah, if you could double check for me, that'd be
I
great.
will, certainly, yes. I can circulate that
Okay.
through the chairman.
Yeah,
Thank
But,
you.
but as I understand it, you know, that's the number MSBA set as an allowance. If we're over that, you know, MSBA just simply won't reimburse us for what we're over.
Go
You
ahead.
got it, go for it.
I am not sure. I'd have to check
Yeah,
on, because I know we got our bid amendment as well, Mr. Chairman. I'd have to check on that,
okay,
if that count would be
Okay.
revised.
okay. Okay,
Anything further? I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll add to that, so the MSBA allowance per student is $1,200. In the budget phase, we doubled that to $2,400 based on historical information from other schools. So we have plenty of budget to work with.
Yeah.
The MSBA will reimburse up to $1,200 per student.
okay,
Once we get final pricing back on technology and a final budget set, we'll know what that number is, and we'll know what would be deemed ineligible.
okay.
But the budget has always been set on that, twice the MSB allowance per student, so there was plenty in the budget for technology.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Okay,
Again, just a visual summary. This is just the bottom line total on the technology budget summary. Identical spreadsheet, almost identical, different budget, but you can see that number, roughly 22,000 on the forecast. Would you like to continue, Mr. Chairman? Any other questions?
once there's no further questions, let's continue.
Okay, again, on the administrative side, a couple key meetings that took place in the last month. I highlighted this utility pole relocation meeting that we had with Norwood Light and Broadband. If you recall, we've been having some ongoing coordination efforts between trees along the property line on the south side where the buses are parked, and that parking lot was proposed to get extended. Those conversations have been continuing to try to find a resolution with Norwood Light and also some of the neighbors regarding the screening. There have been some alternative power routing suggestions coordinated at this point between Project Team and AI3 and Norwood Light and Broadband.
I mean, the intent is try to, within reason, try to protect as many trees as we could.
Yes, and one of the, at this point, really the options are we have to find an alternative path of travel, either for the overhead, the new poles and overhead wiring, or explore an underground option. So we're considering both of those scenarios. We are gonna get some order of magnitude pricing to see what the impact is on the project, but that's something that's coming up, and will be at a future meeting, but wanted to bring everybody up to speed based on coordination with the utility provider.
And, you know, you've been meeting with Norwood Light, Fire Department, Mark Ryan from DPW, so. I mean,
Yes.
we try to bring as many people as we could on board who have a direct input into making that decision.
Yes, a lot of stakeholders, so trying to find a solution that fits everyone's
Okay.
needs at this point. So we will be exploring a couple alternative options. We'll bring those to the committee at a future meeting.
Okay.
As far as some key dates, looking ahead here, we've got our next bi-monthly site visit with MSBA on Wednesday, following our regularly scheduled OAC meeting. And we also have this is the PA speaker zone review meeting. We're gonna start that discussion with Margot and Joe Kidd and the operational team with the district, just to begin to plan the PA zoning in the building for enunciating and loudspeakers and communication. Will likely be several meetings, but we're gonna have the first one, start that in May.
Okay.
Otherwise, continuing with our regularly scheduled recurring meetings, facility review towards the end of the month, to continue with rough inspection progress review. Our monthly inspectional meeting with Gary, which is going smoothly, and then just standing recurring meetings. Again, to summarize those dates as needed. General administration update. We've been continuing with our third-party site testing and inspection program. It's been going very smoothly. I think our only open action item that is still being monitored was with respect to the below temp slab concern that was raised months back. I know we completed prior testing. It's not of a concern, but we will have one follow-up chain drag test just to put that to bed before the flooring is installed. But otherwise, we've been continuing with site visits and regularly scheduled inspections, as well with AI3 and their consultant team, and reports are current and no outstanding issues. As far as document control, just a summary of where we are, RFIs to date, progress on submittals and PRs. And again, summary, MSBA summary on reimbursements, which is included in the VIP package you receive every month. But just a highlight summary here, we're current with MSBA. Single biggest item for us is we'll just complete the execution of the bid amendment agreement, so we'll circle back on that. And we'll return that to MSBA, and we'll be off to the races here on the construction budget.
Good.
Project budget status, we had included this last month. It was a little difficult to read, so we broke this up, but the key here is really just showing key columns for us, some key indicators that we look at are, committed cost to date, meaning value of agreements in place, what's been spent against those commitments, and a balance left to spend. If there is anything that would require a budget adjustment, what's a no, if we've got a cushion, anything available within the budget. This will get revised once we execute the bid amendment, the construction bid amendment with MSBA, but this is the current budget status, again, which was in the package sent previously, but sharing it here as well. Overall, big picture, you can see, this is your contingency balance and owner contingency balance as well. So yeah, in good shape, very healthy contingency for where we are in terms of construction progress, and comfortable budget forecast based on progress complete.
Okay, great. Questions, anyone? Okay. We have a change order coming up.
Yes, so this is just a detailed summary, just on the construction side. We do have a proposed change order 8, which is actually credit this month, but again, just drilling down a bit on construction costs to date, change orders to date. No change to the bottom line, total construction forecast. With that being said, change order 8, we've got a handful of items here resulting in a change order. We also are going to propose another use of buy savings, contingency buy savings this month for these provisional items. Again, the idea is that we're presenting these as provisional and using buy savings. If for some reason that savings would be exhausted, or the contingency would be exhausted, or was pushed in, change to the project, W.T. Rich has reserved their right to request a true change if for some reason those other funding sources were exhausted. We don't expect that to happen at this point. So we are proposing these 2 items for provisional use of buy savings. And these
Right
items.
now, well into the project, we still have healthy contingencies, both
Yes.
the owner's contingency and the construction contingency.
Yes, even with the technology and FF&E budget
Yeah.
forecast as well, yeah, very, very strong balances. If you'd like, Mr. Chairman, I can walk through these
Sure.
individually.
Yeah.
PCO 52, this is a credit for the rough infrastructure associated with the bidirectional amplifier system that was in the base documents required for life safety. We had several meetings with the fire department and Allcom, the new antenna provider, based on the fact that the school is going to become an antenna site within the network, regional network dispatch system. So after reviewing those systems and the capacity of them, it was recommended that a DAS system would be recommended and preferred for this site, and it yielded a net credit of roughly $20,020. Just one note on that is that we have not reconciled the finish equipment with Allcom for the actual antennas, so this may get offset at a future meeting, but for the sake of W.T. Rich, they're going to change that infrastructure for a DAS system as a credit to Rich. Follow-up needed with Allcom. The $6,000 here, there were some additional blocks needed in various locations throughout the building. Removal of data for theater cameras, that was based on coordination with Joe and Jack. For media broadcast abilities, so we've saved a little bit there, and then we had one conflict with structural conflict and some electrical in-wall that needed to be resolved, very small dollars. And then again, these last 2 items, provisional, basically contingency use, we had to coordinate a masonry detail with the installers, and then same thing, we need a couple different vent details for the oil separator that we had to coordinate and resolve. So those are gonna draw down contingency and credit change in the amount of $16,458 proposed for change order 8.
Good, thank you. Any questions for Chase? Seeing none, pleasure of the committee.
I'll move to approve the W.T. Rich change order number 8 in the amount of credit of $16,458
Motion made and seconded, discussion? Hearing none, let's do a voice vote, if I could. Matt Lane,
Yes.
Chris Follen,
Yes.
Bob Donnelly,
Yes.
Teresa Stewart,
Yes.
Diane Ferrera,
Yes.
Margot Fresek,
Yes.
Gary Pelletier,
Yes.
Matt Wells,
Yes.
and Chairman votes yes, unanimous. Good, thank you. All right. Other than potential, replacement of the overhead wires in the parking lot, anything going to change your log that you'd like to bring to our attention?
No immediate concerns. We've got an open balance of about $250,000 that we've been working through with AI3, WT Rich to coordinate details and finalize for approval, but they're in the forecast. Nothing unusual there, Mr. Chairman. But certainly, we issued it. If there's any questions or specific items, please let us know.
Okay.
I know some of those, for example, may end up, like you said, the pole scenario. We had a couple items that were priced for some additional trees. If those go away, that value will actually probably decrease substantially, so.
Yeah.
but,
Okay. All right. Anything else anybody would like to bring up at this point? Brian?
Yeah, so update on the project team. Chase has had an opportunity to take another job, go back into the GC world. Great opportunity for him personally, from a work-life balance. I don't know if you know, he lives in Sandwich, but GC on the Cape that he has a history with from past experience, has asked to bring him on board. So great opportunity for him. We're excited for his opportunity. We're sad that we're losing him on this team, but confident that we will be able to backfill with myself, with Luca and Nissa that are currently on the team, as well as bring in an experienced school construction site manager to help fill the shoes. So we're wishing him luck, but I just want to let the committee know that Chase will be moving on the end of this month.
And I just want to thank everybody for making this project enjoyable. It's been fun, and it's a special school. It's going to be beautiful when it's done, and you're in great hands, and I look forward to following progress as you continue.
Well, we'll see you at the dedication.
Okay.
And just so Brian knows that half of Chase's job was simply keeping me happy, so.
That's the most important half, that's right.
Absolutely.
I'll do my best.
Well, thank you. I know you will.
Congratulations, James.
Thanks, guys, and I wish you the best. Like I said, you're in great hands.
All
So.
right.
Not so fast, this might require our vote, right?
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Again, I know we're in good hands, so I'm not concerned. Anything further? Hearing none, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded?
Motion made and seconded. I'll just do this with a simple voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much.